Hello, this is Right Side Trader. Today is July 21st, 2025, and this is my weekly trade review. We're reviewing an iron Condor trade. That's an SPX 0-day 10 WAP 20 delta to see if this strategy actually works. This is all for educational purposes only, no trade recommendation, because as we all know, trading is risky. You can lose money at trading, so please check with your financial advisor. Please check with your significant other and make sure trading is something that is suitable for you. But I'm beginning to find out, trying to do this trade in a low volatile market, meaning I'll say I'm going to go as high as 20. But I'm getting where I'm gonna look at 17 plus or minus 2. If it's down in that area and I'm getting less than, I was getting over $3, a $3 credit on this trade, and then just trying to close it down around $2.50, somewhere like that. That was working out pretty good. Now, getting less than, sometimes this morning it wanted to give me less than $2 to actually get into this trade. And you got a $10 spread. You're doing a 20/80. That's kind of hard. And again, this is a risk-defined trade. I think the risk is too much when you're only collecting $2 and you're only looking to get 25% of that $2. So you're going to be trying to close that trade around $1.50 on this particular product. On other products, it may be okay, but on the SPX, it's almost a no-go for me. I'm seeing that right now. Because again, I'm getting more and more days where I'm running into trouble, meaning that the market is trending against me. Volatility is either spiking, that's what's been going on. And this week I was kind of late because I've been having back issues and I didn't feel like anything. Just needed to lay around and rest a little bit and not sit so much in front of the computer. But I had to get to it today because I had to move my little markers over for Monday. This is a Monday instead of doing it at the end of the week. And I had other things going on this past Friday, so I couldn't get to it then. And I had told the wife I was going to help her with some things too in the yard, which only took a few minutes. It didn't take as long as I thought it was going to take, and I got some other things I still need to do around the house. So that's that. Enough of that. But let's go ahead and start off with the charts like we usually do. Let me move some things out of the way on this other screen where my chart is at. I got you looking at Monday's data on what happened there. But I'm gonna switch over to the chart and let me share that chart screen and let's switch to that right quick and let's go over this pretty quick here today. All right, I'm switching over the chart, looking at the VIX. And on the VIX now, this is one of the notes that, like I said, I'm making to myself. Should I have a no trade when it's 17 plus or minus 2, somewhere in that area, and I'm not getting enough credit on that trade? That's one of the things I'm going to start looking at because I've noticed that it's kind of hard, when the VIX is low. And plus, I'm not getting the credit. I want to get $2.50 or more, really is ideal, when I get less than $2.50, trying to close this thing closing this thing less than $2 is hard. So $2.50 puts you right at that point, like $1.90, trying to get 25%, I believe, is somewhere in there. So that's the whole thing going on here. And as you can see, the VIX has been trending pretty low and going lower from what it looks like. We got a spike there on Wednesday that I think ended up being a no trade day for me anyway. I don't know exactly what was going on that day. I don't remember at this time, but it was a no trade, and we'll get to that. But let's go ahead and go and take a quick look at the trades right quick, the charts on each day. On Monday, I was able to put that iron Condor on at 62.70, 62.80 on the call side, 62.25, 62.15 on the put side, a 20 delta. Got a $2.60 credit. Was able to close it for $1.95. So that was a good day, even though this thing, as you can see, how it's beginning at the end of the day is this thing is getting where it's slow. The market is getting where it's slowly trending up on you in this low volatile market. And this is what happens a lot of time in low volatile market. The market is actually being bullish and trending up. And Tuesday ended up, are these lines right here? These lines are not correct here on this Tuesday chart. I didn't get to this. I didn't change this. This is a put sell line. My put sell line, as you can see, I was able to put that iron Condor on. It was a bad day and all. And that's why I probably didn't correct things. And let me just double check. That's yeah, my put side was at 62.75. So again, this market started trending down against me right away, and all was kind of strange. I don't know exactly what had happened on that day. And also my call line is further up at 62.20, 62.30. Yep, that's right. And also this thing, it ended up going against me. I did end up fighting a little bit and trying to make some money back. But again, that's like say $3 to like $6. So that's almost trying to make $3, and trying to make $3 scalping these things. It can be done. Number one, it can be done. It's just me trying to do it in a virtual account and being that focused in my virtual account doing these trades. A lot of times, if the market is moving, I'm trading more in my live accounts than I'm trying to pay attention to trying to make money back on here. Sometimes I just accept the loss that I have here, and I make it up another day, when I'm not as active in the live accounts. So again, this is what it is. This is what happened here, and this is what's going on. As you can see, this market went down right away to where I was at. And even if you would have tried to do this at a later time, this 10 o'clock time, this thing still would have went down against you. So again, the opening time to me is not that critical as it is. It's just what the market is actually doing that day So that's that. Let's go ahead and go down to the next day, Wednesday. Wednesday was that no trade day. I remember it was Wednesday for whatever reason. It was a no trade day for me. And it looked like the market played kind of nicely that day. It stayed with inside here. It did go crazy, at a certain time and popped up and came back in, but it would have been an okay day. Let's go ahead and go down to Thursday. Thursday was looked like it was it was a day where the market got away from me again. It trended up, and I will admit one of the because I'm not paying enough attention to this virtual trade right now, because I like it when the market is trending like this. I'm a directional trader, and usually I got directional trades on that I'm actually trying to pay attention to those and make sure I do what I want to do with that stuff. So I've been letting this stuff get away from me, that's the other thing. And then I'm trying to make money back, So it has hit me a little bit because my focus is not here. It's not that I'm not trading this particular strategy live, because me and my directional trades, when I do them, it just made me think about another trade that I do have another trade today that I haven't looked at yet, that I need to take a look at also. But that's that. But this day was another rough day, I did place it, and it did, as you can see, it did go against me, right around that 11 o'clock time. If I was paying, I got to set some better alerts on this stuff too, because that's what I use. A lot of times I'll use alerts instead of stops, and I can use alerts on the actual price of the options themselves. I can do it that way, and also I can do alerts at certain, like $10 or so, or $20 below, probably $10 or $20 below the strike that I actually sold, to actually give me a heads up also to start paying attention to this and go ahead and close it early or something like that. That's one of the things that I actually did today. I saw the market look like it was going to be trending, so I ended up closing it. It'd come up on next week's video. I ended up closing it just for a smaller profit, because I was able to, and then I did a couple of directional trades to make the extra money that I wanted to make on the trade. That's one of the things that I would do if I'm trading this thing live, or I may not, like I say, I may not even put this on, and I see if I think the market is going to be trending, and I'll just go ahead and do a directional trade only, and I don't like doing the spread trades for a debit trade. I'll just do a directional trade. There's no need of buying and selling something. Just go the direction that you think it's going to go. It's my opinion. Let's go ahead and go down to Friday, this past Friday, and take a quick look at that. This past Friday looked like that was a good day. That was the only, again, we only had two. Again, it's getting back and I've seen this before, where you get only a couple of good days, that you can actually, these strategies actually work. I have traded this strategy before, and me and a friend, we were doing this strategy, and we got where the bad days can wipe you out. That's the whole thing, and that's the thing that I wanted to do this trade the way I'm doing it, trying to study it. Can I identify the bad days, number one, and the VIX might be one of the keys. The other thing is just me looking at the market, seeing, okay, look like this market is going to trend today, and the other thing is now actually doing just doing a completely different trade. Just go ahead and do a directional trade instead of trying to sell something. And that works pretty good for me because, I mean, again, I'm one who don't mind scalping the market. I can make 50 cents, a dollar, $2 on a trade, and I'm good based on the position size that I have. So that's one of the other things that I am okay with. I don't feel like I have to get the full run and all that happens like that. I'm not missing out on anything. I make the money that I want to make on the trade, and I'm done with it, and I'm okay with that. That's a whole mindset that I am at, and that's something that you need to think about, when you're trading. Don't get all caught up in what people think you should be doing and what's possible out there. Yes, everybody can see it after the fact, but what can you see while you are trading? And you got to go ahead and be able to take that. And that's one of the keys. But here on Friday, I was able to place that on Condor at 63.25, 63.45. On the call side, 62.85, 62.75. On the put side, around a 0.2 delta. Collected, again, see this is below that 250. I only collected a $2.40 credit, but we're able to close it again down around $1.80 and all. It was expiration Friday, though, too. So it was one of those days where you kind of expect them to pin the market at a certain point, and you just, again, I will say hope here. Hope you're at the right point where your strikes that you sold is going to be okay based on where they want to pin the market. And it looked like they wanted to keep the market here above this 62 something down here. They wanted to keep it above this level down here, wherever it was at, this strike that we actually sold, which ended up being a good thing, even if you ended up had to hold this thing longer. But that's it. That's pretty much it. Let's look at the numbers. I'll switch back over there to the screen where all the numbers are at. Let me switch back over there, and we'll wrap this on up. And I'm gonna take a look at these at the individual days. Do it that way. It's a lot easier because on some of the days it was a mess. And on Monday, like I said, Monday was a good day. I was in that trade for $2.60 out of the trade for $1.95, and got in this trade actually a little bit late at 9:39, and this is one of these crazy ones, around between that 9:40 and 10 o'clock time, you do get some crazy action going on the option sometimes, and you will get I have gotten some of these crazy feels like this even in the live account, and I get some of those crazy feels like that doing my directional trades, as long as I'm not trying to get too much. That's a lot. That's one of the things that happened on me this past Friday, where I was looking to get more than what I was getting greedy because things have been going pretty good, and it kind of pinned just below where I was trying to get out at. So that let me know I was trying to get too much on that trade. I'm trying to change this to the next day, go to the 15th, and the next day here, 15. Why is this thing keeping acting up? What's going on here? Delete 15 and 15. See, I should see on Tuesday. That was Monday. This is Tuesday. Tuesday was a crazy day. Was this the day? One of the days I actually did sold the bird. This is where I had sold it for $2.60. I had to cancel it and get out of it at $4.70. Is this discount? No, this is the debit. That's a different debit. That's a debit. That's $6 and something. But again, it was one of these crazy days where things just went crazy and all. And I was doing other trades in and out trying to make some money back. I think this was the day I actually even sold the vertical and all. The further out. This is not the date that I sold it further out because I don't see the further out date. But I was closing things at a time, and I was just, again, trying to just work it. And all I was probably done. It was around the time that after the time I was done with my trades. I'm usually done by 10:30, close to 11 o'clock, and then around this 11 o'clock time, I can jump over here and start doing stuff. But let's go ahead and go down to the next day. Take a quick look at that crap if you want to look at that crap. And that's what it is, crap. And 16. This was a no trade day. Again, I didn't do anything that day. I don't know if I was. I remember what happened that day. A lot of things came up. Family stuff came up. It just seemed like it just didn't want me in front of the computer that day. I remember that day now. Everything was okay, but I remember what happened now that day. Got a couple phone calls. Had to do a couple things away from the computer. On the 17th, on Thursday. So again, I placed that on Condor. 9:30. 935, 225, again, a low credit. Cancel. Ended up closing one side, ended up had to close the other side, ended up doing other things. And I think I ended up selling, this is the day that I ended up selling a credit further out. I was going to try to make it for 80 cents, do it for 80 cents, but then I ended up canceling that, and I ended up closing it lower the following day, on that one. Let's go to the 18th. I remember that now. And that's one of the things that I think I would do in the live account if I end up getting in trouble. And that's why, again, you need to get the position size at a point where you do have cash available, where you can place another trade to collect some of the collect some of the money that you have lost, and I had to get back, and just do it further. I found out just doing it further out, 21 days, at that point, if you can, or even go as far out as the 45 days, the whole magic number anyway. Go that far out and expect to be in it for a couple of days if needed to just make 25 to 30% on the trade. That's been working. I've done that before, and I ended up doing it that day too. And I believe this is the Friday. The 18th was the Friday. 18th. Yep, 18th was the Friday. And again, like, this is that spread that I had created, further out, and I ended up closing it, and I was going to do it for, like I said, I was going to do it for 80 cents, and I decided I'll just take 25% instead of trying to get more on the trade, and then do another trade. It looks like Friday looked like it was I realized it was expiration Friday. I said, just go ahead and do that. Don't take any chances. Then I placed the other trade, and it actually worked too. I placed it for $2.40, got $2 again, less than that $2.50 again, and I had to close it around that $1.80, just below $2, for that trade. And that's the other thing that I'm seeing. I don't want to be selling this thing for too much less than that $2.50. It worked out those 2 days that it actually worked, but this is going to be close to my cutoff point. I thought I could go all the way down to $1.50 on this. No way I can do that. No way you should be doing that. And $2.50 plus or minus 10 cents. I say just minus 10 cents, 2.40 at the lowest. And I'll just let it go. Because again, it starts going against you. And if this trade, it can go really bad. VIX can go up on you. Directional can go against you. It's a lot of things that can happen going against you here on this trade. But that's pretty much it. That covered the whole week there. And it wasn't that bad of a week. You can look at my numbers. My profit loss is still above 1 mil, and my liquid is below. It's like 100. It's really about $100,000 down over the past couple of weeks, where I've gotten these couple of hits and all. But I'm holding out right here. I'm gonna try to get it. I should be able to get it back above. That 800,000 maybe in a couple of weeks. That's 50,000 a week. Yeah, if I do it right, I should be able to get back above that in a couple of weeks, maybe mid-August. Again, I'm looking maybe like it's going to take a year for me to get to where I really want to get at. And I'm learning a lot right now. Again, we had high volatile markets earlier in the year. Now we're getting low volatile markets now. So again, you learn a lot by just placing these trades and seeing how things work, and seeing how the market works. You see other things that you can actually do if you got these trades or other strategies that you should be moving to, and that's what this is all about for me. I have other things that I'm doing and other things that I'm okay with, but I'm trying to learn something and do something new and something different. I need to understand it. I need to have a good feel for it, that I can actually do it. And that's what this is all about. And as you can see, if you really understand what you're looking at here, this is what it was before, and this is what today I did some things different, and it was a good day. And that's what it's been a good day. That's why I said, I'll go ahead and make this video. But this is what, this week, if the market keeps doing like it's doing and like what I expected to do, I do definitely expect to be at that 800 by the end of in the next couple of weeks and we'll have to just see how that goes. But that's it. That's all I really want to share. This is Right Side Trader. Hope you guys had a great week last week. Hope you guys have a great week this week. Make that money, and I'll talk to you next week. Have a good one. Bye.